This image shows some Halloween light painting I did in a local stormwater drain, so I thought I'd make a video that shows the 360 camera and the homemade tool that I used. So basically what I have here, I have two torches. This is the Nitecore P26 and this is the amazing light painter torch by Ryu's Lightworks, sold by Light Painting Paradise. This thing has amazing strobe modes. That's why I use this torch. So these two torches will attach to the end of this red acrylic tube. One end will be a torch, on the other end I'll attach this light box. This is just a Halloween stencil that I've cut out of black paper and attached it to baking paper on the back there. This goes behind a clear piece of perspex or acrylic, and this all gets attached to the front of this light box. So this light box is basically just a white ice cream tub that I've covered in black tape. I've got one of these washing machine grey water hose adapters going into the back, and I've just braced it here, and I've got butterfly hose clamps here. This thing here is just a white silicone diffuser that I stick on there just to diffuse the light evenly, and also the baking paper kind of helps evenly distribute the light across the light box. The camera I'll be using is the Insta360 X3. I'll mount this on a tripod and then I'll set it to manual settings to a long exposure, probably about a minute or so to capture all the light trails from this, and that will create the final image. Here's what it looks like when this tool is fully assembled. Between the light painter torch and the light box, I've also put in a orange coloured gel to give the jack-o'-lantern an orange tint. Let's switch on that torch there, and it's got a strobe. Then I can turn on the Nitecore P26 torch, which illuminates the red acrylic tube, and that's the fully assembled tool. Next I set up the camera. Here I've got it mounted to a selfie stick with a small tripod on the other end. I'll put it down in place. Now I can change manual settings on the camera itself, but for this tutorial and for this image, I will connect my phone to the actual camera itself and use the phone app, the Insta360 app, to change the settings and to actually release the shutter. And I'll also use a 10-second countdown timer. In the app, I go to photo mode, switch to manual mode, scroll to a 60-second exposure, then set the ISO to 100. When that's done, I set the timer to 10 seconds, which it already is. Now I'm ready to go. Once I've got the camera set up, I'll grab the tool and get into position, turn it all on. I've got that strobing ready to go. This is turned on. Now the position I'm going to be using and the stance is basically standing side on with my arm as dead straight as possible, as this, in my shoulder, is the pivot point for the orb. I get my phone out, trigger the actual shutter on the camera, 10-second timer, you can hear it beeping, put that back in my pocket, wait for the shutter to release, and then I can start moving this up and down the tool. Just wait for this timer, up, down. Now the strobe on the torch, on the jack-o'-lantern, is a 5 milliseconds, so it's just going to flash as I move the tool up and down. And the camera will record the light trails from this tool. You'll just see the face of the jack-o'-lantern. When I get to here, I'll turn off the tool, and that's it. Now, because I've set a 1 minute exposure on the camera here, I can go and walk behind the camera after I've done the orb, because the orb wasn't a minute long, then I can go with another torch and just paint in the trees or the surrounding environment. And after a minute, the camera captures the final image. That's it, done. This image was actually a 30-second exposure captured at ISO 100, so all the surrounding light you see here is coming from the tool itself.